I forgot to mention, y'all. So I'm making this after I made the video, but it'll be in the beginning of the video. This video is not sponsored. I bought the tool in question with my own money for my own purposes, and I don't have any sponsors, and it wasn't free. I paid full price for it on Amazon. So, on with the video. Good morning, y'all. So, today we're going to do a tool review on this box right here on the floor. And the reason we bought that is because, as you can see, I have two utility trailers. And when I cut grass the other day for the first time in years, due to the Biden economy, I had to, instead of paying somebody else to do it, I mowed around those trailers, but I need to be able to move them. And back in the day, you know, I'd just heft up that tongue and move the trailer around, and I can do that now, but it's kind of a pain in the behind. And since this is South Carolina and we end up having to cut grass just about every week or two, I figured I would get one of these hand trailer dollies. Now, I used to have one of these years ago. I got it from Harbor Freight, and it was a flimsy piece of crap, and the handle bent on it, and the tires kept going flat and stuff. So I haven't had one in... Hold on. Potential spam. How about fuck off? Alright. So, I looked on, I was on Amazon the other day and I saw these on there, and I figured this thing had a couple thousand good reviews, and it's got 1,000 pound, it can lift 1,000 pound tongue weight and move it around. So I figured, what the hell, we'll give it a shot. I think I paid like $130 for it, maybe. Of course, it's made in China by Vevor, V-E-V-O-R, I believe that is. Tough tools, half price. Well, we're gonna see about that. There we go. Let's get the end of the box here up where we can see it. So, in case you want to get one of these, this is a manual trailer mover, model QYC 1000, load capacity 1,000 pounds, ball hitch 2-inch, 16-inch pneumatic or pneumatic, depending on where you're from, tires. And here we go. Manufacturer Wuzhang Xinjiang Tool Manufacturing Company Limited. So the English translation of that is Chinese state-owned factory number, whatever number it is, made in China. But you know, it is what it is. I can't see myself spending a ton of money on something just to move trailers in the yard so I can cut grass, or to make it easier. So I'm gonna bust this box open. We'll see what's inside, and then put it together and see how it works. See what it looks like. So I'll be right back. And we got the box open. So right off the bat, looking in the top of the box here, I can tell that this is at least going to be better than the Harbor Freight one that I used to have. The wheels are way, way bigger. I think it's a 4-8. Get the tape measure here. So these wheels are 15 inches tall. So that right there is going to make it a lot easier to move the trailer around. Because the one I had before, it had some little bitty wheels. They were like 6 or 8 inches. And they didn't move too good in the grass. It's got bearings. Chinese ones, I'm sure, because it came from China. No, there is no provision for a grease fitting to grease the wheels, so I would assume that the inside also has a seal on it, and they're sealed bearings. So we'll set those aside. We got some directions. A little caster wheel. That's the hitch ball. That looks like that's at least 1/8 of an inch thick. For what we're going to do with it, it should be fine. Let's see what else we got here. It's like a kickstand and an axle and a handle. All right, let me get these parts out of the box and get the box out of the way. Get some tools lined up, and we'll get this thing assembled. So I'll be right back with that. All right, I got all the parts sitting here out of the box with the plastic all off of them. And mine, I don't know if everyone ships like that, but mine was shipped with all the hardware kind of stuck in the holes hand tight. So step one, it says to put the caster wheel on here using the 4 bolts. So let me get that done. All right, so that is attached. Now I guess now would be a time to mention, for assembly you'll need 2 17 millimeters, either a wrench and a little impact, or if you like a little more punishment, a wrench and a socket and a ratchet, or if you really like punishment, 2 wrenches, and if you hate yourself, 2 crescent wrenches. Either way, you're going to need 2 17 millimeters, and then I'm going to use that 12-inch crescent wrench for the big nuts that hold the wheels on. They look like they're probably somewhere in the neighborhood of 24 millimeter to 30 millimeter, somewhere in there. I always have to test fit with metric stuff. I don't know it right off the top of my head like I do the standard stuff. So we got that attached. So the next step is to take this, that end, and that end of it, and attach them to that bolt and that bolt on this handle. So let me get that done. All right, we got the wheel attached to the handle. Now the next step is to put the 2 big wheels on the axle over there. You can see you got a nut and a washer for each side of the, well, there's a washer for each side of the wheel and then that nut. So let me zip those on real quick. All right, I got my wheels on. Now it doesn't say so in the instructions, but I put my valve stems to the outside so they're easier to get to put air in the tires when it needs it. So the next step is to bolt this handle with those 2 bolts that are in it into those 2 bolt holes on the axle. So again, those are 17 millimeter. Everything's 17 millimeters except for the 2 nuts on the axles that I used a crescent wrench on. So let me get that done. All right, so that's all assembled now, other than the jack part, or the toe ball. So it just pins on, and you can see that it is height adjustable. So we're just going to pull the pin here. And stick that back in there. All right, so that's assembled. So first impressions, it rolls around real easily. It seems to be built good enough. The steel is definitely, it's not as thick as I would build it if I was going to build one, but it's definitely thicker than the old Harbor Freight one that I had. The height adjustment's good. The welds are what you pretty much expect off of Chinese stuff. I found one spot where there was a piece of MIG wire sharp sticking out that I snipped off, but the welds are, yeah, they don't look great, but they're serviceable. It'll hold it together for what it's got to do. So let's go and try this thing out. We'll walk out here to the old trailer. Get the camera set where we can see. Man, I can't see anything out here. The sun's so dang bright. Maybe we'll that way. All right, so let's try it out. Oh yeah, that works good. More. Well, put this right over here. That's pretty much where it's going to live, outside, so hopefully, you know, it'll survive. For $100 and some change, it's not too shabby. Definitely makes moving the trailers around easier. So next time I cut grass, I'll be able to move the trailers and mow underneath them. Especially that one with those two shivs. One of these days I got to put those where I want them. So the Vevor manual trailer mover. I'm happy with it for what I spent on it, and I think it'll work good for me. You know, is it the strongest, best thing in the world? No, but it's plenty strong for what it's got to do, which is just move those two trailers around. I would imagine it would have no problem doing the same with a tandem axle car hauler or anything like that. Obviously it's not going to move a fifth wheel, but any bumper pull trailer. Now I don't know how well it would work if the trailer was loaded. That's yet to be seen. But moving the empty trailers around my yard just to mow around them, it's going to work great. So that's it for this video. Hopefully this helped y'all out, entertained you, something. I appreciate y'all watching and supporting the channel, and y'all have a good one. We'll see you in the next one. Well, since I haven't posted this video yet, I figured I'd add this little part in at the end. So I've had this for about, I don't know, a month now, this trailer mover. And really the only negative thing, I've used it to move these trailers several times to cut the grass, and the only negative thing I can say about it is it takes up a lot of real estate. It's big, and so I keep it outside by the trailers, and so far it's holding up, but we'll see. You know, I don't know how the rubber and all that stuff's going to stand up to the weather, but so far so good. I have no complaints. It does everything I need it to do. Like I said, really the only thing bad I can say about it so far is that it's big. It takes up a lot of real estate. So if you want to store it inside your shed or something, that takes up a lot of space. It's wide. Now the wideness of it does make it much better at what it's supposed to do, but it still, you know, takes up a lot of space. So keep that in mind if you want to get one. Other than that, it's pretty dang good. And you know, I can't really say too much bad about it, to be honest. For the price of it, it was pretty cheap. So hopefully somebody's found this useful, and appreciate y'all watching, and we'll see you in the next video.